He's your starting quarterback. Give me an absolute break. Stefanski is one of an outstanding coach. All right? But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
We'll see if they make a change there.
Last week, they were down by 10, came back to win the game, but a different story today.
Shedeur Sanders just went straight at Rex Ryan after allegedly discovering what people around the league are calling a quiet, behind-the-scenes push to weaken his 2026 Pro Bowl nod. Listen to this. Things blew up quickly, and now Rex Ryan's credibility inside NFL circles is taking a very real hit. What began as a low-level disagreement has now exploded into a full-on controversy, rattling both the media and league insiders. Hold up. On Nightcap, Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson unpacked the heated back and forth surrounding Shedeur Sanders' Pro Bowl selection. Ocho openly admitted that statistically, other quarterbacks had arguments to be picked, and he didn't pretend the situation wasn't confusing. He made it clear, though, this wasn't about disrespect at all. It was strictly about the numbers and how it looked from the outside. But behind closed doors, things were reportedly getting messy fast, like real fast. Multiple reports claim Rex Ryan was one of the loudest voices pushing back against Shedeur's selection. According to league insiders, Rex allegedly reached out to several NFL decision-makers, insisting a 7-game suspension should have mattered more, and that Shedeur didn't deserve what he saw as special treatment. And girl, that's when eyebrows really started shooting up.
It doesn't seem right. And look, here's the thing, and is it the kid, or is it how you have treated this guy? Like, I don't know where the fine line is, but there's, certainly a disconnect. Like when I see like this kid on the World Series, you lost a game that nobody cares about. All right. And by the way, Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP, was looking for you. Like, go back and say this. The only energy I saw in the entire stadium was when that kid popped on and Shedeur walked on the field. You know who was wanting to see him play?
The fans.
The dang fans. And you know who never cared? His teammate.
Things really blew up when Shedeur reportedly became aware of those private conversations through leaked messages. Hold up. Sources say the moment he saw what was being said, he didn't censor himself at all. He allegedly checked Rex's bitterness head-on, pointing to years of coaching struggles and lingering tension tied to Deion Sanders' success. Listen to this. That single confrontation reportedly sent shockwaves rippling through NFL media circles. Now the football world feels split straight down the middle. Some view this as fair criticism that went a step too far, while others believe it crossed the line into straight-up personal vendetta territory. And if that leaked audio from the heated phone call turns out to be legit, it could seriously damage Rex Ryan's credibility as a trusted media voice. So let's rewind to how this all first became public. On Nightcap, Shannon Sharpe revealed that Shedeur Sanders had officially been added to the Pro Bowl roster. He was stepping in for Drake May, who's getting ready for Super Bowl 60. On the surface, it looked routine, just a replacement slot, nothing wild, but the reaction was instant and loud. Critics immediately flooded social media, questioning whether Shedeur truly earned the honor. Ocho stepped in with a calm but honest take, saying that while he respects Shedeur's talent, the selection raised fair questions. He even pointed to Trevor Lawrence as someone who could have realistically filled that spot instead. That transparency mattered. Ocho made it clear he wasn't taking shots at Shedeur, just acknowledging that the numbers didn't line up perfectly. And that's when the story took a hard left. While the public debate played out on screens, insiders say Rex Ryan was quietly working the phones behind the scenes.
Ocho, maybe it's a situation where the fan vote, there's like, because you got to think about it, Ocho, they're down to like the sixth or seventh
Yes, sir.
alternate. The Pro Bowl does not have the same recognition that
Yes.
it once did. It used to mean something to go to the Pro
Bro,
Bowl.
who you
Ocho.
telling?
It used to mean something. And when you look at that ball and you see all those names, you saw the Elways and the Marinos and the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings and the guys, like I said, it wasn't like a regular.
According to multiple sources, Rex reportedly spent days behind the scenes trying to shape opinions quietly. And once the selection was officially locked in, things allegedly slipped out of his control. Here's where it gets heavy. Pay attention. League insiders revealed there was a private group text that included former coaches, analysts, and media figures. At first, it was just football chatter, opinions going back and forth, nothing out of the ordinary, until screenshots surfaced in late January 2026 after the Pro Bowl roster dropped. Those leaked messages allegedly showed rexryan going hard at Shedeur's selection. One message reportedly called the pick a joke, questioning how a player with limited appearances could land on the roster. He allegedly suggested outside influence played a bigger role than on-field production. And look, having an opinion is fair, that's part of the sport. But according to reports, Rex didn't stop there. Additional leaked texts claim he personally reached out to people tied to the Pro Bowl voting process, coaches, former players, and league contacts, urging them to oppose Shedeur Sanders' inclusion. And that's where criticism turns into controversy. Because once private lobbying enters the picture, it stops being just talk. Whether every detail proves completely accurate or not, one thing is undeniable. This situation has exposed deep tension between football legacy, media power, and how the league treats rising stars. According to one source, rexryan allegedly made a striking comment during a private phone call, saying, "If we allow this to happen, if we give a kid with a 3 or 4 win record and average stats a pass just because his dad is well known, we're sending the wrong message to every young quarterback in the league." That goes way beyond simple criticism. That's not just an opinion. That's an attempt to influence outcomes behind closed doors. That kind of conversation isn't happening on debate shows or TV panels. That's quiet background maneuvering, aimed at stopping someone from cashing in on a major career opportunity.
Obviously, a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are saying that Shedeur Sanders didn't deserve this. Obviously, when you look at the stats statistically, there are so many other suitors that could have gone to the Pro Bowl. Honestly, Unc, this is one that is a bit confusing to me. As much as I love Shedeur Sanders, there are many others that should have gotten that opportunity to go. I am happy that he's been awarded and afforded the opportunity to go to the Pro Bowl in his first year. But maybe you can clarify and give me a little bit more clarity as to why.
That's when Shedeur Sanders allegedly caught wind of what was really going on. Sources say he didn't shrug it off or choose silence, not even close. Insiders familiar with the situation claim Shedeur got rexryan's phone number through mutual connections and decided to make the call himself. No agent, no PR team, just Shedeur and Rex, one-on-one, completely unfiltered. Hold up. And what reportedly went down in that conversation is already being described as one of the most intense off-field exchanges the league has seen in years. Sources say Shedeur opened the call calmly, asking, "Rex, I've heard you've been working to keep me out of the Pro Bowl. Is that true?" Straight to the point, no small talk. Rex allegedly tried to downplay it, responding, "Hey kid, it's not personal. I just believe there were other guys who deserved it more." But that explanation didn't land at all. According to those same sources, Shedeur snapped back, saying, "Nothing personal? You've been calling NFL executives saying I don't deserve it. You've been in group chats claiming my dad is pulling strings. That sounds like you working behind the scenes to block my career before it even starts." That's when the tone of the call reportedly shifted, fast. Rex tried to defend himself, but Shedeur wasn't done yet. Sources say Shedeur followed up with a sharp question that completely caught Rex off guard. "Let me ask you something, Rex. When was the last time you actually accomplished anything in football?" That line reportedly hit like a brick wall. Shedeur allegedly kept going, pointing out that Rex's most successful seasons were nearly 15 years ago. He reportedly referenced Rex's exits from multiple coaching jobs and questioned how someone so far removed from the sideline could sit comfortably in a studio taking shots at active players. A 22-year-old quarterback challenging a former head coach's entire legacy. Yeah, that's wild. But it didn't stop there. Sources say Shedeur doubled down, adding, "This isn't really about me. This is about how you feel toward my dad. You watched him win everywhere while your own path stalled. He earned respect, influence, relevance, and instead of dealing with that, you're taking it out on me."
Things that Rex said that if he actually filed it with a coherent thought, I would agree with. Is there a disconnect between Shedeur and Kevin? That's a fair question. I don't think there is. I think Kevin just has his attention elsewhere. But again, that's a fair question. But to act like the kid sitting on the sideline or that in the press conference said, "Hey, I really feel like this loss is on me," that it's somehow an indictment on his character, just say you don't like the kid. Or just say you haven't heard things that are good about him from the little NFL circles, instead of pretending like it has anything to do with the way that kid composed himself, because anybody that watched his press conference should have come away even more feeling like, hey, that's just a good kid, whether he's a good quarterback or not. In the same way, by the way, that I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to be a starting NFL quarterback ever. He shouldn't be right now. Every time I watch his press conference, I come away thinking.
That accusation reportedly froze the line. According to insiders, Rex went silent for several seconds before responding, "You don't know what you're talking about." And Shedeur allegedly fired back immediately, "I know exactly what I'm talking about, and now everybody else does too." That's when Shedeur reportedly dropped the real bomb. He allegedly told Rex that the leaked texts were already circulating and that the entire football world could now see exactly what he'd been trying to do behind the scenes. That's the moment sources say Rex realized everything had fully unraveled. Those texts were no longer rumors. The alleged sabotage wasn't speculation anymore. It was exposed. And here's why this part really matters. Listen closely. Shannon Sharpe later broke it down on Nightcap without even knowing the full backstory. Shannon pointed out that the Pro Bowl simply doesn't carry the same weight it once did, and that alternate selections have always been part of the process. Players step in every year. Backups get called up every year. This isn't new. Shedeur Sanders didn't bend the system. He stepped into it. He didn't take anything from anyone. He accepted an opportunity that countless players before him have taken without this kind of backlash. Shannon's argument was simple and direct. The Pro Bowl isn't what it used to be. It's no longer that elite, once-in-a-lifetime honor where players flew to Hawaii and went full speed. Today, when top players opt out, the next names on the list move up. That's just how the system works. Shannon pointed out that Patrick Mahomes was dealing with an injury. Bo Nix was injured too. And when you look at the rest of the quarterback pool, it's not hard to connect the dots. Shannon openly questioned whether some of the bigger names would even want the spot as a late replacement. Let's be honest, Lamar Jackson doesn't exactly scream last-minute Pro Bowl trip. Aaron Rodgers? Easy no. Trevor Lawrence? Same situation. It's widely believed those calls were made and those players declined. So when you walk down the list, Shedeur Sanders was simply next up. That's how alternates work. That's how it has always worked. No favors, no shortcuts, just procedure. For Rexryan to allegedly rally against that process crosses into dangerous territory. That's not film study, that's not analysis, that's not commentary, that's interference, and the league knows the difference. But this is where Shedeur's response really separated him from the noise. After that alleged phone call, he didn't hit social media, he didn't grab a microphone, he didn't turn it into a circus. Instead, sources say he quietly shared the audio with a small circle of trusted media figures. Once those clips started circulating, everything exploded. Fans were instantly divided. Some accused Shedeur of disrespecting a former coach. Others said Rex finally got called out for behavior that's been whispered about for years. Behind closed doors, though, NFL insiders were nearly unanimous. Multiple reports say coaches and executives quietly applauded Shedeur for standing his ground. One reporter revealed a general manager allegedly said, "Rex has been doing this for years. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He takes shots at people who reach levels he never did." Someone finally pushed back. That comment spread fast. Another coach reportedly added, Shedeur handled that perfectly. He didn't fold, he didn't back down. That's the mindset you want in a franchise quarterback. That kind of praise doesn't come lightly. Even Shannon Sharpe, completely unaware of the leaked audio at the time, delivered a take that landed heavy. Shannon said that no matter how anyone feels about Shedeur Sanders, history won't care about the path, only the title. 5 years from now, 10, 15, even 30 years down the road, nobody's going to say alternate Pro Bowler. They're going to say Pro Bowler, period. Shedeur Sanders will always have that on his resume, and that label carries weight, no matter how uncomfortable it makes critics. Meanwhile, Rex Ryan's legacy keeps getting debated for very different reasons. Being dismissed from multiple coaching roles, carrying visible frustration, consistently aiming criticism at rising players. Even Ocho, who initially questioned the selection, ultimately landed in the same place. He made it clear that once you earn the designation, it sticks. You don't get to add footnotes. He said it plainly, whether you like it or not, you put Pro Bowler before the name. End of discussion. Stats don't change that. Feelings don't change that. The players ahead of Shedeur opted out. When the call came, he answered. He didn't lobby for it. He didn't campaign for it. He didn't ask for favors. That's why the attempt to undermine him hit so hard. Because this wasn't about earning something. It was about trying to block someone from receiving what the system had already handed them. And from there, things only escalated. After the audio surfaced, sources say the fallout moved fast. Reports indicate ESPN quietly convened an internal meeting to review the situation surrounding Rex Ryan. Executives allegedly looked closely at whether Rex crossed company lines by actively campaigning against a player's Pro Bowl selection. Hold up. Rex reportedly defended himself by saying he was only giving his opinion, but insiders say ESPN leadership wasn't convinced. One source revealed executives stressed a clear line. Analysis belongs on television. Advocacy behind closed doors is something else entirely. As of now, Rex Ryan is reportedly still with ESPN, but league insiders say the situation has left a visible scar. Sources suggest things haven't been noticed internally, with warnings issued about how his actions are being viewed by players and coaches across the league. That kind of reputation hit is real, and it doesn't disappear overnight. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is moving in silence. He's preparing for the Pro Bowl, keeping his head down, staying off the radar, and letting his play do the talking. No extra noise, no public beefs, just work. That's confidence. That's growth. And that's exactly what a young quarterback looks like when he's stepping into franchise leader territory. This isn't someone chasing approval. This is someone who already knows where he's going. Shannon Sharpe wrapped up the nightcap segment with a short but powerful message, saying, "Congratulations, Shedeur. Not everybody is going to like it, and that's just how it goes." That line landed, and Shannon wasn't wrong. Not everyone is happy. Rex Ryan clearly isn't. Critics are still talking, but none of that rewrites history. Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, and that can't be erased. Now, the real conversation isn't about stats or alternates anymore. It's about respect. Did Shedeur Sanders have a legitimate reason to confront Rex Ryan over alleged behind-the-scenes interference, or should he have ignored it and kept it moving? Think about it. You're a 22-year-old rookie. You find out a former head coach is quietly calling people, questioning your value, and trying to block your opportunities. That's not background noise. That's someone aiming at your future. According to reports, Shedeur didn't yell online. He didn't post vague messages. He handled it directly. One phone call, one confrontation. That choice alone showed a level of maturity most players don't reach until much later in their careers. What Shannon Sharpe and Ocho didn't realize during that debate was that while they were talking on camera, Rex was allegedly working behind the scenes to stop the selection altogether. Once Shedeur learned that, he didn't fold. He stood firm. Reports say Shedeur confronted Rex directly, calling out lingering resentment, past coaching failures, and long-standing frustration tied to Deion Sanders' success. That moment didn't just expose tension, it revealed mental toughness. The audio didn't just damage Rex's credibility, It highlighted Shedeur's composure under pressure. That's leadership. That's backbone. That's what franchises look for. So here's the real question. If you were in Shedeur's position, would you stay quiet and let it slide, or would you protect your name and your future the same way? Was Shedeur justified in speaking up, or should he have kept moving without addressing it at all? There's no easy answer, but there is a clear takeaway. This Pro Bowl selection may only be the beginning. If this is how Shedeur handles pressure off the field, the league better be ready for what's coming on it.